Hey guys, welcome back to Professional Weekly's YouTube channel. Today we're here in Skagway, Alaska on our 7-night Alaskan cruise on board the Norwegian Bliss. And today we're going to be riding the White Pass and Yukon Railway. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Make sure you stick around, check it out, hit that subscribe button, and let's go.
Let's go. All right, y'all, like Louis said, we're here. We are still in Alaska, and it's raining, so put my heads up. But we're super excited to be here. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time. Yeah, should be a good time. So we were told halfway through we'll switch from one side to the other, so we'll get to see both sides of it. So yeah, should be a good time. You ready?
Yeah, and if you didn't watch the video before this, we've already walked around all of Skagway. We checked out the waterfall here, so make sure you go back and watch that video, link in the description below. But today we're going to see what we can see on the railway.
Yeah. All right. Good times. All right, so we're on. We are comfy and cozy due to a bench. Yep. And then we're going to see all the beautiful things out the window, and then we're going to switch sides about halfway through.
Yeah, so we booked this excursion with Norwegian Cruise Lines as part of our 7-day Alaska cruise aboard the Norwegian Bliss.
Yep.
Put the price down below whatever we paid for that. It was fairly expensive. It was one of the more expensive excursions that we're going to be doing on this trip.
Yeah.
But it's a must-do, and especially if you come to Skagway, it's pretty much the only thing to do there. Watch the other video. We did some other stuff, but this is the big one.
Yeah. All right, let's go see all the beautiful things that we can see. Hopefully we'll see some wildlife. I would love to see like a bear or a moose.
I think we're going to see a lot more mountains, like we've already kind of seen on the ship. On this trip, we're going to learn a little bit about the history of this train, but this kind of has roots back in the gold rush of the early 1900s, late 1800s.
Okay.
So when a lot of the people came up here to the Yukon looking for gold, this is one of the ways that they would get up there to the mountains to try to find gold. I think early on they had to basically climb a lot of these mountains, and they eventually built this railroad. But that's what I'm sure we're going to get a lot of history lessons today about the gold rush.
Yeah. Okay.
So here's a map of our route. So there's our cruise port down here at the bottom, and we're going to head way up there.
Pretty cool.
And just like that, we're underway.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Hey guys, so we are still to the city limits, but in just a minute, Louis is going to be popping outside to get those outdoor shots for you. So yeah, I'm going to be staying inside with the GoPros and the camera, keeping it safe. Alright, good times. We did hear that the chances of seeing a bear are pretty unlikely, at least from the train. The tour guide that we were with said that it's more likely to see one in town tonight. So, we'll see.
Yeah, she said there's a mama bear and a couple of cubs running around town these days.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Our number 1 rule, there is no crossing from car to car. And please stay on platform on.
He lives out there with his best life. You can tell we were parked high a little bit. The train's going out a little bit. We got a little bit higher so we can get above the And there is Skyway Harbor, and I think you will be able to see our cruise ship. Maybe. And you kind of can see the cruise ship. Oh, maybe there. It is straight down from there.
In the beginning of the gold rush, the White Pass Railroad still did not exist. Many entrepreneurs took no.
That is the U.S. Customs border. Is the U.S. Customs building, so we're not quite yet at the border, but they said this was the most flat, level land that they could find to build it, so this is where they built it, even though we're still a little ways yet till we get to Canada. So they said that 35,000 men worked on building this railroad, and only 35 of them died, most of which were to disease. However, 2 men were killed in a blasting accident when a giant boulder fell off of the mountain and crushed them, killing them instantly. They were unable to retrieve the bodies, so instead they painted a black cross on top of the rock, which still is there today. Wow, that was a big boulder to have coming down the mountain. I can't imagine it, how scary that must have been.
Yeah. Crossing that soon.
Cross that bridge when we get there.
So that was the railroad that we just come up right there. So we're gonna bring it back around this way. It is so beautiful.
Coming up to mile marker 16, Tunnel Mountain. We will be passing over the famous wooden trestle bridge that was built back in the 1890s and has been rebuilt and maintained ever since. This is a good time to look forward and to the left to see the whole train in motion going over the bridge. Immediately after the bridge, we will be going to the Tunnel Mountain, which is about 250 feet long and very, very dark.
And there's the train going into the tunnel. And we are on top of that one bridge in about 12 seconds. Not freaked out at all about that. Not even a little bit. Alright, we're on the bridge now. Or wooden bridge, rather. And we're out. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that for sure. Hi guys, so we are almost to the end. We're going to shuffle over to the other side of the car and see the view from the other side. So yeah, they call this the Skagway Shuffle.
So here's the old bridge that collapsed and they no longer use it anymore. So this is the end of the line. All right guys, so we got to the top of the railway here. It is absolutely beautiful. Highly recommend anybody to come up here and ride this railway. Stunning views of all the mountains, the water, and the valleys. Once you get to the top here, they do make you switch sides, so now we're on the other side. And so that way everybody gets a fantastic view up and down. And the seats even flip around, so we were at the back of the cabin, now we're at the front of the cabin. We're gonna ride it right back down. All right guys, and there's the old bridge that used to cross the gulch here. You see it's no longer in operation, but this is the top of the line. Yeah, so this is the end of the line. Absolutely beautiful up here, highly recommend it. If you're in Skagway, it's definitely the thing to do. You gotta come ride the White Pass Yukon Railway. It has just been stunning views the entire way up. So much water, waterfalls, river, mountains, valleys, everything. And now we're heading back down the mountain. We're gonna go right back to where we came from, back in Skagway. Oh yeah, look at that river way down there. It's a long way down. Oh my goodness, look at this valley. So we've learned a little bit of history about this whole train and the railroad here. So it was built in the early 1900s, basically right as the gold rush was kind of winding down. By that point, a lot of the miners and everything had come to this area and they were trying to find some gold. and they having to hike up all these mountains, and basically it was just a really rough terrain, almost impossible to get up. A lot of them use pack mules and things, and due to their inexperience, fortunately a lot of that ended in tragedy. So a couple railroad tycoons, barons came to town, decided to build this railroad and start charging people for access up the mountain, so that way everyone could seek their fortune in this beautiful Alaska wilderness. You can see there's a train wreck down there. A couple cars must have fallen off. That must have been terrifying. And here we have the view from Inspiration Point all the way down to Skagway. You get some amazing views of the mountains up here. They really do look majestic from this point of view. You just got to get on this railroad and ride it in order to see Alaska, see Skagway the right way, for sure. Here on these rocks, you can see some of the markings from where they had to carve away all this rock. So they said when they built this that there were they'd work in teams of 3 doing what they call double jacking, in which all 3 men would be hanging from these rocks perilously over these cliffs. And one man would hold a rod while 2 others bashed it in with sledgehammers until they created these long caverns that they could actually fill with blasting powder. Insert a fuse, and then they'd swing away like on their ropes and then light it. And then all the rock, half the mountain, come crashing down, and that's how they were able to build this railroad. I can't imagine the guts those guys must have had. It's gorgeous on this side of the train too, coming back. Look at all that fog and how high these mountains still keep going. I think it's also interesting too that October, this is like the end of the season. It used to only run until like September. They recently expanded to October. But honestly, I think this is probably the time to come, because then you get all the colors and the trees and everything. You know, obviously in Florida we don't see colors on trees like this.
No.
Absolutely beautiful. That river looks amazing. I'm sure it is freezing cold, but I would love to go whitewater rafting down that thing. I would do it on a jet ski if I wasn't afraid of bashing my jet ski out.
That's when I get a big old payday from our life insurance policy.
And so that you can buy a new jet ski.
Okay.
Now here's a caboose. They said you can rent this as an Airbnb.
No, not that one.
Yeah, that's the one.
No, that's not. No, that's not the one. That's not the one.
There's another one?
There's another one at the end.
Okay. I didn't realize there were 2.
There's 2.
Guys, that's exactly why you need a wife, so she can always tell you when you're wrong.
Well, if you weren't wrong, I would tell you.
If I didn't have a wife, I would just go through life being wrong all the time.
What a horrible way to live. I'm just saying.
You know, it's not the size of the waterfall that counts. Interestingly enough, when we rode up, they had 2 locomotives pulling us up the mountain, and they are now following us. We'll get a view of them here in just a second. But on the way down, we only need 1 locomotive to pull us back down. Let's see if we can see them. Maybe, maybe not. Way back there. Get out here, engine jerk, you're making me look stupid. And they also mentioned that most of the way up and down the mountain here is just 1 track, but this is one of the few spots here where they actually have a separate track that they can use to pass if they wanted to run a second train. So there you get a good look of the 2 engines that are pulling us back down the mountain. We'll see now if we get a view of the ones behind us. I think we're just too far back, we're not gonna see them. I mean, come on, does it get any more picturesque than that? And here comes the other train. They told us to wave at them. Enjoy your trip! Yeah, look at that moss. It looks so thick you could probably just lay down in it and use it as a bed. Yeah, it's just like a carpet of moss.
Yeah.
Color too, that kind of reminds me of some of the old carpet from the 70s. Not that I was alive in the 70s, but I grew up in a house that was built in the 60s. We had carpet that looked like that. All right, and on the way down, we can see the bridge that we were just up on. So way up there, through the trees, that high. A long ways away. All these miners came looking for gold, but I think I found gold on these leaves. Oh, now you can't see it, but there's a gold looking tree right down there in the bottom of that valley. Oh man, I'll tell you what, man, what is Alaska? It's just so beautiful. Every which way you look, there's something to see. It is amazing, spectacular. You have to see it for yourself. You gotta come to Skagway. So we're passing by Bridal Veil Falls again on the way down, which we got some shots of that on the way up.
Yep.
But the conductor just let us know that apparently if you go swimming in Bridal Veil Falls, which you'd have to be absolutely insane because it's so freaking cold. But if you do, then apparently you'll find love. Legend have it, you'll find love within a year. So the conductor says he went swimming, he bathed, he gargled the water, and now he's got 2 people in love with him. I thought for sure he was going to tell us he's got like 10 kids on the way. So, any of you who are maybe unlucky in love, try your luck in Bridal Veil Falls.
Yeah. Good luck with that frostbite.
Hopefully you don't freeze to death. So last look at the Skagway River. Look at all them boulders. And here's the little red caboose Airbnb. That's the one. What you get to say about that?
That you really thought we were going to hike all the way up there to stay at that one.
I thought they would take the train up.
You just said we couldn't get off the train up there. No one gets off the train up there.
Well, maybe if you rent the Airbnb.
Oh, okay.
How the hell do you get to this one? You hike up to here?
Yeah, you hike up to it.
See you hike up to it.
I'm not hiking nowhere.
So it's a landslide, huh?
Yeah. Kind of see when we were back in Thailand.
Yeah, when we were in Thailand, there was landslides in Phuket. Shut down the entire road. I mean, half the island you couldn't get from one half to the other without going like 2 hours out of the way. It's crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of the roads washed away. Yeah, that one there could have washed away the railroad. That would have been bad.
What was your favorite part?
Oh, the Bridal Veil Falls.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Amazing.
I thought the tunnel was pretty cool.
The tunnel was cool too.
Yeah.
Got some cool shots of that with the 360.
That's cool. All right. That was a train tour. All right, guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. I thought the train was pretty cool.
A lot of fun.
Didn't see any animals. Someone said that they saw a bear, but I don't know if they actually saw a bear. Wishful thinking. But anyway, here is this guy with pro tips.
All right, guys. So here are your pro tips for the White Pass Yukon Railroad. I would say number 1 is definitely dress in layers. It is rather cold there, and if you're at the back of the train when you leave and you're going to be in the front of the train when you're coming back, the windows are open and it gets rather breezy. So dress warm. Pro tip number 2 is it doesn't matter what side of the train you're on because you do swap sides halfway through. So if you want to see it on the way up, you want to be on the left side. If you want to see it on the way down, you want to be on the right side, and vice versa. You're always facing forward because the seats flip. And pro tip number 3 is you don't really get to choose your seat, but people do line up ridiculously early for this thing. So if you want to wait in line for like 2 hours, you can totally do that. People did. If you want to show up just at the last minute, you're going to get assigned a seat from a random seat anyway, so that's up to you. So that's going to do it for today. Remember to hit that subscribe button because that's super important. We'd really appreciate it. Really help us out. And with that being said, we're out of here and we'll see you next weekend.
In about a minute or 2 to pick up some more passengers at our depot. Also, please take out your tickets, take a look at them. You'll notice they can be torn in 2.
I hear that train a-coming, it's rolling down the bend.
We're going to do our best. It's not a great job, but we're going to keep trying.
White Pass Yukon Railroad. Whoa.
Oh, hurry, because the battery's going to die.
All right. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when.
Oh, there's that pot I smell. All right, y'all. That was...
And I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. And time keeps dragging on.
Behind those trees. Out. You're on my hair. You're on my hair.
All right.